What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter Parkour of the Story Theorists, and I am here today to talk about a surprise reveal. I wasn't even aware that this was coming out. Marvel 1943, The Rise of HYDRA. I knew this game was coming. It was announced, I want to say the first time I saw it was about a year and a half ago. Could be even longer at this point because we've been left in the dark about it. I honestly forgot the game was coming out. But before I get more into Marvel 1943, I want to give a big shout out to our viewers. Anyone new, anyone returning, we always love to see you guys coming back and interacting with us as well. So if you're new to the channel, do us a favor, drop a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to hit that little notification bell so you can be notified whenever the Story Theorists drop some new content. All right, Marvel 1943. So there was a slew of games that were announced at one point a while back, and Marvel 1943 was one of them. I don't even know if it had the title Marvel 1943 at that point. It was just, if I remember correctly, it was like a teaser trailer showing who would be in the game. So we saw Wakandan artifacts, and we saw the shield, and I believe the helmet of Captain America. And that was it. And I think we saw like the splash screen. So maybe Marvel 1943 was there. I don't even know if it was Rise of HYDRA at that point. If it was, cool. If not, it's new to me. This is kind of cool. So Marvel 1943, from what I do know, this is a young Captain America, fresh, most likely after receiving his super soldier serum. This is during the combat with Hydra, and I wonder if we'll see any fascist propaganda or symbolism in the game. We may not see it in any of the trailers. And he seems to be encountering one iteration of the Black Panther. I'm not sure who the king would have been at this point if the comics have talked about who would have been Black Panther in the 1940s. I'm not sure. So we get to see that kind of balance between the two, and we're going to be fighting Hydra because obviously we've been dealing with Captain America. So in the war time, Hydra was one of his big enemies, including the Red Skull. So will we get to see the Red Skull in this? Who's to say? And the other fact that I do know is that this is is it directed and produced, or written and directed by, anyways, Amy Hennig is a big part of this game. She left Naughty Dog Studios to go work, I believe, on a Star Wars game at one point, but I think she got pulled off of that, and this was her new project. I know her from Uncharted. I know she worked on Legacy of Kain years ago. I've never played that. She says that that's one of her favorite projects that she's ever worked on. But I really enjoyed the Uncharted games, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I haven't played Golden Abyss or The Lost Legacy, but I am a big fan of Uncharted games for sure. But anyways, it's time to get into it. We wanted to get into the meat and veg of Marvel 1943, Rise of HYDRA, because I kind of want to know a little bit what's going on, and I'm a big fan of seeing what the Unreal Engine 5 can do as games move forward, and studios are working with them more and more to kind of tweak that engine to their liking. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to dive into the Marvel 1943 Rise of HYDRA story trailer. Let's get into it.
They're combing the streets.
Howard Stark?
Searching house to house.
Oh, it's probably.
If they arrest you two, they will take you to their headquarters, and you will not return.
I'm more concerned with the 6-foot cat man who's got claws that can cut through vibranium alloy.
So, most likely Skydance have encountered each other before this moment.
By my count, that makes 2 super soldiers loose in Paris.
3, counting you.
And that's 2 too many.
So Red Skull must be...
I'll be there before the sun rises. Before the Germans, before that American. The Eye of Force has been found.
Please, just stick to the rooftops. Be careful, Stanwasami.
When am I not?
Okay. So they're keeping the design very...
It's better if I tackle this one alone.
You may encounter some obstacles.
That won't be a problem.
More leather as opposed to armor that we're used to.
cat friend is definitely here too. By the look of things, he's not very far ahead.
The American boy is right on your heels.
They're chasing each other.
Who the hell are you?
If you wanted us dead, we'd be
God.
dead. So what do you want?
Answers.
Why are we not
That's
seeing
far
them?
enough!
Stay out of my way!
Stand aside!
I do not take orders from anyone!
I don't have time for this.
Neither do I.
Okay. So show me something more. Come on. Coming next year. Okay, so we've seen Wakanda, we've seen Paris. Music, I'm already thinking. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so there you go, Marvel 1943, The Rise of Hydra. It doesn't give a whole lot to the story. All we know from this that I can see and from what I pulled from it is Black Panther, King Azuri, is in Paris tracking someone or something. It would appear from the way that they're chatting that Captain America has already encountered Black Panther in some capacity because he mentions a 6-foot cat man who has claws that can cut through adamantium alloy. So there's only one bit of adamantium that he would be aware of, which is his shield. So he must have at least encountered him at one point. Now, was that initial, what he's talking about, where they met on the bridge? Don't know. So this could be a little bit all over the place, but I'd like to figure out what Black Panther is chasing. I'm assuming it's Red Skull. Maybe he took vibranium. Oh, sorry, not adamantium. I'm talking about vibranium. Did they mention adamantium? I'm gonna have to go back and see that. I thought he said adamantium, and there's vibranium, which is what the shield is, but that's from Wakanda. So it's a whole thing. I'm getting my alloys mixed up. Anywho, perhaps Red Skull or a high-ranking Hydra agent. This could be someone who's new. It could be someone who's part of the comics who I'm not totally familiar with. I don't know a ton about Captain America. I follow Spider-Man for the most part. But yeah, it's Skydance Media. So this has got a bigger, there's going to be more to this. Skydance I'm usually seeing obviously as producers on movies, on film and some TV shows. I think TV. Anyways, but to see them being in the production game for video games, this to me shows and hopefully is proof that this is going to be an incredibly cinematic game. All we saw there, we didn't see any gameplay. We very clearly saw in-game cinematics, which again is what we're seeing right now. And they looked great. There is a second part of this trailer that includes King Azuri without his mask on. There's a helmet, sorry. And you can actually see him getting really angry, and you get to see the facial expressions, which really is showcasing the Unreal Engine 5. But so far, I'm intrigued. I can't say if this is going to be a day one purchase for me. I can't do that because I don't know anything else about it. I need to see gameplay. And as we all know, it's very hard to pre-order games these days because I love Cyberpunk, but we all know what that mess was. We're seeing a whole bunch of stuff regarding Starfield, Dragon's Dogma 2. But I'm a big fan of cinematic games. People who are fans of the channel know my stance on the Horizon series, on the God of War series. Big cinematic stories that are based in single player that don't need to have live service part. I'm a huge fan of because you get to play the movie. Now, live service, I'm a big fan of Helldivers too. Spreading liberty, spreading democracy, all that fun stuff. But single player cinematic action games, big fan of. Hopefully this game will not be like a Telltale where it's just mostly the story, very little action. Hopefully we get to see some God of War, Uncharted style traversal and cinematic set pieces for this as well. But yeah, that's That's Marvel 1943, The Rise of Hydra. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more coming out. The game says coming 2025. That's obviously a loose release date because that could be any time from January 1st to December 31st, and that is barring any potential delays as well. The game is far from finished, but I'm very pleased that we get to see a little glimpse into the future of some Marvel gaming for sure. So I think that's going to wrap it up for me. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, thanks for anyone that stopped by to watch my, I'm sure, lame content because I'm not jumping from the ceiling or anything like that. But a big fan of this stuff for sure. If you're new to the channel, make sure to drop a like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you're returning, drop a comment. If you're new, drop a comment as well, and we'll do our best to respond to them. We love responding to any of our viewers. Yeah, that's going to be it for me. I'm Peter Parkour of the Story Theorists, and like we always say around here, keep it real.